Hello, my name is Brant Hunt, and my channel is called Simply Discerning What is True. I'm going to be reading chapter 18 tonight after doing 17 just a few moments ago. And we're going to read the first battle, Exodus 17. So part of chapter 17 deals with what I just shared earlier, and now we deal with the first battle. Because the Israelites had rested, God, the divine, sent the Amalekites to attack them at Rephidim, the place of rest. The factor of these rapacious tribesmen was Amalek, whose name means warlike, or people of prey, or dwellers in the valley, and men of the caves. These meanings indicate the indicate the quality of the tribe and their correspondence to the baser parts of the psyche. So again, this is going to be called the illustration of revealing their the psyche within the Israelites, within them, not some enemy outside themselves, but the enemy within. The antecedents of Amalek tells us even more. Son of Eliphaz, Eliphaz, which means gold of God, in quotes, by a concubine, that is a inferior fiancé. He was the grandson of Esau and therefore the natural rival of the descendants of Jacob. As such, the Amalekites were hostile to the Israelites, and legend has it that they had waited several generations to take their revenge for Jacob-Israel assumption of the family's birthright. The psycho-spiritual implications are clearly set out here for the first of many battles between the inferior and the superior elements in an individual. So again, this is representing what's taking place within you. It's nothing on the outside here. No one getting killed is what people look at, in the Bible, the literalization of the Bible. Initially, the biblical legends tell us Amalek could do nothing against the Israelites because of the pillar of cloud and fire. Further, when Moses had uttered the divine name in the Amalekites' face, they retreated in disarray. Later, no direct assaults were attempted, for the Israelites built an encampment, and the Amalekites had to adopt a lying in wait strategy, seeking to take the Israelites by ambush and stealth. Thus, the first stage of psychological order creates the beginning of protection. The other tribes of Sinai and Canaan were naturally interested in the Amalekites' campaign against Israel, but did not join in the hostilities as yet. Here we have a perfect description of the interior situation of a person in the early days of spiritual discipline. The Amalekites, or the undisciplined elements closest to the Israelites, seek to disrupt the new order, while the deeper old habits, complexes, and concepts represented by Hittites, Hivites, Jebusites, Amorites, and Canaanites wait to see, that's W-A-I-T, wait to see if the threat to their territory can be dealt with at the limited frontier that divides conscious from unconscious. So again, these are, and maybe we could look at this here. We'll look at these particular, suppose, part of their rivals here. You see, Hittites. You see, let's see, to the right page. Well, let's see. No, I don't think that's there. I don't see it in this one here. Is that right? HRTT. No, it's not in this particular book. Let's see if this is in this particular book here. this will be coming out of this particular book now. See if it's correct. Okay, here it is right here. Hittites, Hittites, broken in pieces. Sunder, dismay, error, and dread. Descendants of Heth, Heth, who was a son of Canaan. They were a tribe or nation in the land of Canaan that the Israelites were to drive out and destroy, based upon Exodus 23:28, Deuteronomy 20, verses 17. Meta, thoughts of opposition and resistance. That's what a Hittite is. Okay, sorry it took a little while there to find it. And then you have the Hittites, which is another group. We'll go through all these later on, but Jebusites and Amorites and Canaanites wait to see if the threat to their, such as, okay, we got there, okay, and without. So in the biblical story, the Amalekites make use of what their kinship to the Israelites to draw them out from the protection of the camp. The Amalekites offering to trade favorably with their distant relatives. Thus, the inferior elements of the psyche tempt some of the superior but undeveloped parts, which are led to believe business can be transacted harmlessly. The result was not only the death of these Israelites, but the mutilation of their genitals by the Amalekites, who mocked heaven with the dismemberment covenant of circumcision. The significance of this act is the reduction of psychological will and physical power when the individual integrity is dishonored by his own misdemeanors, despite the hope that they will not affect his general progress. At Rebbe'hai, after the testing of God, Amalekites were allowed to attack openly because the protection of the divine cloud had been removed. This Geburah, Geburic, punishment of the Israelites, however, was not the malice of a revengeful God, but the strict chastisement of the far-sighted divine teacher. Thus, when the Amalekites attacked with swift-moving ferocity, the Israelites were placed in the position of learning how to defend themselves while being taken to task. So it was that Moses told his servant Joshua, whose name means deliverer, to select some strong and disciplined men and go out and fight the Amalekites. This act for a nation which had lived as a subject people for several centuries was a crucial turning point in its attitudes, as it would be in a person who allowed himself to be dominated by others or by patterns within himself. Legend tells us that Joshua had descended from Joseph, the only one of the 12 sons of Israel who had not sinned. This gave Joshua a distinct advantage, but he still needed help because, the legend goes on, the Amalekites, possessing magical knowledge, knew the most propitious hours to attack. This was because each tribe was under a sign of the zodiac. You see, the 12 tribes are part of the different signs, such and such of the zodiac. I would doubt even one person in 100,000 Christians would even understand that, because they see all this as zodiac and other words that are revealed as though it's of the devil. You see, and therefore vulnerable at certain times. They were at yet, quote, ununited into the house of Israel, which at the spirit is above the planetary world of Zizara. Thus, the children of Israel could be assaulted at their point of greatest weaknesses, as often happens in moments of crisis when the people is, not when the people, but when the psyche is divided. The aid from above came through the agony or sorry, not agony, but the agency of Moses and two other Israelites as he stood on the hilltop overlooking the battle, holding the staff of God above his head. It's based upon Exodus chapter 17:9. Seen Kabbalastically, the hill, yes, it does, highest part, represents a higher level than the field of battle, so they could see what's going on, you see, but not too high above the action. The two helpers were Aaron of the tribe of Levi and Hur, H-U-R, of the tribe of Judah. Hur means noble. And in brackets it says he is also said to be the husband of Miriam, Moses' sister. Thus, the two aristocratic families of Israel, representing the Lord's spiritual and temporal, stood on each side of Moses to support him. Again, there's the illustration of the pillars right there, right in front of you there. Okay, so Moses would be in the middle, and the two would be on the outside. It would be the two helpers were Aaron and also, where's it at? I thought it was one other one here. Hold on. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Oh, Hur in the tribe of Judah. Okay, so there's one's for the tribe of Levi, one is the tribe of Judah. This was necessary for a while Israel prevailed when Moses' arms were raised. That's correct. I remember that in stories we were told to little boys in Sunday school class. The warriors fell back when he lowered them in fatigue. Here we have a graphic image of the three pillars of the tree consciously set up by human will in order to draw down grace so that unity might prevail against disunity. This corresponds to a ritual form of Kabbalah in which the individual reaches into the upper worlds and calls down the holy to aid those parts of the psyche that seek unity and cast out the willful aspects that oppose inner growth. Moses and his helpers held this ritual form until sunset when Joshua's forces defeated Amalek and put his people to the sword, end quote. In the legends, this is done in a clean and honorable manner with no mutation or humiliation of the enemy. Bad traits, if they must be cut out, should be dealt with like surgery, not butchery, so that there is nothing left to fester. So again, it's not a reality here. This is showing what's going on within each person, so to speak, as a whole, but also individually. At the end of this first united action against the forces of evil, Moses recorded that it is intended to blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. That is, the disruptive element are to be continually removed from the psyche. This intention is made into a memorial after the battle. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh, Nissi, Nissi, where he said, quote, my oath upon it, the Lord is at war with Amalek, generation after generation. Now let's see what this word Nissi means here. Still looking. Okay, it's not showing that at all. Don't look like it here. No, it's not. So it's not there. So I'm going to curious to see in here. It's even mentioned. That's wild. It's not shown. Let's see. Wait a minute. No, it's not shown here at all. I thought it would be in here. It's wow, it's the first time I've seen that happen. Where you at? I'm trying to find my place here after reading this here. Get caught up in reading it, and then I kind of miss until sunset when Joshua. But bad traits. At the end of this first united action against the forces of evil, Moses recorded that it is intended to blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. That is, the disruptive elements are to be continually removed from the psyche. This intention is made into a memorial after the battle. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh Nissi, Nissi. He said, "My oath upon it, the Lord is at war with Amalek generation after generation." Sorry about that, folks. I got a little bit off the tangent a little bit here. Let's see if we can get back to where I was at. Okay, so we are going to end this particular chapter here. Again, this is chapter 18, first battle from the book Kabbalah and Exodus. And Amaleks are defeated. But the Amaleks are not real people. You see, that's to do with our psyche, psychological here. Okay. So thank you for being here. Sorry I got off on a little tangent there. I want to see if I can find that word also. Take care and have a good evening.